Recently, the first season of X-Men 97 wrapped up on Disney Plus, and I was very excited when I heard they were going to relaunch that series. The original X-Men series, animated series, started in 1992, and I was already in Japan at that time, so I wasn't able to see all of it. I saw some if people copied it for me and sent it to Japan, and I was able to catch some of the rest online later on, or maybe in DVD rentals. So it went from August 31st, 1992 to September 20th, 1997, and I never saw every episode, but they did take their time with a lot of major storylines. Now, what I don't like about X-Men 97 is the pace. Way too fast. Let's look at the episodes. Episode 1 reintroduces the X-Men, Professor Xavier's gone, and we have Magneto taking over the team. That's all from the comics, fair enough. The next episode has Magneto on trial. That's from the comics as well. And then, at the culmination of that trial, they establish the mutant nation of Genosha with Magneto in charge. And at the same time, Storm gets zapped and loses her powers. That's a lot to do in one episode. No build-up, no setup, just boom. Then episode 3, Madeline Pryor is outed. We know that she is not really Jean Grey. The real Jean Grey returns and retakes her place on the team. We have a Goblin Queen / Inferno storyline wrapped up in one episode, and Mr. Sinister's involvement is established. That's a lot. Inferno was a whole big arc that covered multiple titles and took many, many issues. Jean Grey's return was a big deal. This is just way too much. Episode 4, most of it was a throwaway, just Jubilee and Sunspot having a little party. But Forge and Storm go off together, their relationship gets started, and I guess they're falling in love or something. And we introduce the adversary, this kind of Native American demon-type creature. That's really rushed. Episode 5 has a massive master mold attacking Genosha and destroying it, killing so many mutants, including apparently Magneto and Gambit. That just suddenly happened? Wow, that's a lot. Episode 6, Forge helps Storm regain her powers. And Professor Xavier is alive, and he learns about what's happening and wants to return from the Shi'ar Empire to help his team. Why is it going so fast? Why are all these big storylines being rushed like this? Episode 7 has the aftermath of the destruction of Genosha. Magneto is dead, apparently. But we have the beginning of Operation Zero Tolerance, and a character named Bastion is coming to the forefront and apparently working with Sinister. And they've got Magneto as a prisoner. Then we launch into the final 3 episodes, 8, 9, 10, which is part 1, part 2, part 3 of Operation Zero Tolerance. Finally, they give a little bit of breathing room to one arc, but we already are at a disadvantage because no one has really been set up. This hasn't been set up very well. It's just a big rush. Operation Zero Tolerance is thwarted, Bastion is defeated, Mr. Sinister is defeated, we have a brief return of Phoenix, and then the season ends. Why the rush? I've often said to my friends that there is kind of storytelling currency, and you can't just throw away big ideas like this without giving them the room they need to properly tell the story. The first X-Men series threw away Dark Phoenix in X-Men 3. Just took it and threw it away, as well as the Cure and the depowering of Magneto, just threw all that away. We can go back even further. Spider-Man 3 just threw away the concept of Venom. Just set it up, threw it away. Horrible. We get into more recent times, looking at DC Comics. Batman versus Superman. Batman v Superman. What do we have? We have Batman and Superman at odds with each other. We also have the introduction of Batman to this series. We also have Doomsday, just squeezed in, barely any setup. We have the death of Superman. And at the same time, the introduction of Wonder Woman with no previous setup in any films. Why the rush? Set these things up. Build anticipation. Get people excited and speculating and looking forward to what's going to come next. I just don't get it. So I appreciate X-Men 97. I think the animation is great. The vocal performances are great. I do have nostalgia for this, but I read the comics. I know how deep those arcs are, and I know how meaningful those events should be. It was just too much, too fast, no breathing room, no development, and now all of those coins are spent. All of that storytelling currency has been thrown away. Oh my God! I was about to start editing this video and I remembered even more things. We saw the X-Men attack Asteroid M. We saw Magneto get his mind wiped. We saw Magneto get his mind restored. We have the potential setup for Onslaught to appear. During all of that, Magneto attacked Wolverine. I don't think he removed the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton, but he severely injured Wolverine, so Wolverine is knocked out of the battle and I guess stranded in the present day. The rest of the teams are split between the future and the past. We also have Madeline and Scott having their baby, Nathan Summers, who gets infected with the transmode virus by Sinister and subsequently sent into the future so that he can become Cable and come back into the past, which is the present day. And during the series X-Men 97, it's revealed that Cable is actually their son. All of this, I forgot. That's how dense these 10 episodes were. There were so many major storylines that took possibly years to tell, just thrown away like nothing, so they can set up what? Too rushed, unnecessary. I really thought the original animated series wound up being a kind of test to see if audiences were interested in the X-Men as characters and as a potential live-action franchise. Ultimately, it was proven successful, and they abandoned the animated series after 5 seasons, and they went into the live-action series after that. I think this X-Men 97, however long it's been in production, whenever they thought of doing it, is also kind of serving as a test, or maybe as a reminder or preparation, so that people can get hungry and get ready for the X-Men to appear in the live-action Marvel Cinematic Universe. Maybe they're throwing everything they've got at the wall, seeing what sticks, seeing what gets good reactions from audiences, and then that will help them nail down what kind of storylines they want to tell. But you can't just spend this currency like this. You can't just throw away this storytelling currency. It's wasteful. These things deserve more breathing room. I mean, Fox already did Dark Phoenix badly twice. They did Apocalypse as just a throwaway character. So I appreciate X-Men 97. I'm happy that they made it, but I wish they'd thought a little bit more about telling good stories than just scratching the nostalgia itch and testing audiences and seeing people's reactions to the content. That's my take. So I like X-Men 97. I feel no need to rewatch any of it. I'm waiting for the day when they let these stories breathe and give them the room to really impress people. Thanks for your time.